Hello everyone, it's Minnesota. Welcome back to another video and another Bailey video. This is also my first premiere on this channel, so to all of you in the chat, thank you all for being here. I have most definitely worked my ass off on this. So I'm glad to see you all in the chat. Just make sure you behave, obviously. In between some chapters, we will be doing some intermissions or just little breaks in between. They're gonna be around like 2 to 4 minutes with Minecraft music in the background and some unpublished renders that I made for something that I'm making. So you can go take a break, get up, stretch, get some water, whatever, because there's a lot of crazy stuff in here and I don't want you to lose your sanity, so yeah. And just remember that, as I said, I will be monitoring the chat, so be sure to stay respectful, engage with each other, and don't be a twat. So, the following subjects I'll be talking about today are not recent news, but it is definitely something worthy to talk about. For a quick rundown, if you don't know who Bailey is, she's an almost 30-year-old woman who stalks and harasses minors and acts like a kid. Literally. She starts arguments online, is a bigoted person, but proceeds to whine and play the victim when things don't go her way, or gets called out on her bad behavior. For more information, you may check out this custom playlist I created in the description, where me, Purple Spy, Fox Mallow, and Dreamer Studios have exposed her. So, this whole BayNightWolf situation includes her harassing a number of children online, including trying to pressure a minor into giving her their address because she wanted to send them candy, which is so strange. There are a number of incidents, but this video would last all day if I said everything she's done. The one main incident that we'll be talking about in today's video involves someone named Mercedes. She's an adult now, but at the time they were harassed, she was 15 and 16 years old. That's right, a minor. They even lived through a horrific deadly tornado, which not only took a lot of lives, but nearly took hers, which Bailey just reduced to a small joke. I briefly covered it in my first video about Bailey, but I only used the screenshots from Dreamer Studios' community post. The Bailey situation goes a lot deeper down the rabbit hole than you think, so there is so much more to it than what I already covered. What we'll be going over today is a history of Mercedes' experience with Bailey as a child. From Bailey's time on TikTok to today, I'll be also going over the horrific natural disaster Mercedes had to go through. I think that this is a good way to give a clear picture on how deadly the storm was, the trauma she had to face, and all the statistics. Because it will give a clear picture on the magnitude of the situation, the likes of which Bailey and her insensitive white knights reduced to nothing more than a joke. So, this video will be divided up into many chapters. So, Chapter 1, we'll be going over who Mercedes is. Second, we'll be talking about their experience with Bailey on TikTok. 3, we'll be going into detail about the tornado that nearly took her life. 4, we will cover Bailey's extremely infamous and insensitive joke. 5, we'll be going over Mercedes' debate with Brian, specifically where he called her a bitch. 6, and last but not least, we will give a small continuation of Hunter's comments in Fox Mallow's comment section. I have gathered a ton of screenshots of information, all thanks to my very good pals Mercedes and Purple Spy. Mercedes provided a good number of screenshots, videos, and images, which we'll be going over in today's video. And Purple Spy will be speaking out about their experience they had in the debate. You know, I took a fun trip to base the other day, with permission from the boss, and I let Spy know about my video idea, which they and the administrator have agreed to. I will be using their sprites, which I have been given permission to use, created by the fellow artist and tailor, Malachi, I'm sorry if I said your name wrong, on Twitter. So go check them out and show them some love. I cannot say anything else about the meme, as it is very confidential in this business, so we shall move on. Because this video will be covering very uncomfortable subjects, I'll add a trigger warning. So here's a trigger warning for natural disasters, near death, abuse, harassment, doxing, and of course attacking children. There's a subject somewhere in the middle that will be very touchy, so if If you are comfortable with that, I will let you know so you can mute it and unmute when it's over. So, without further ado, let's get straight into the video. So, who is Mercedes? So, you might have seen them in some screenshots and Purple Spies videos. She's used multiple names in the past, and you might know them as just a tornado victim. But she is so much more than a tornado victim. She's a survivor and a fighter. Mercedes also uses the names Amari, Wambam, Venus Dingus, Papa Pepper, Papa Jules, Papa Martini, Ladybug, etc., etc. They identify as a demigirl and uses she/they pronouns, but she doesn't care which pronouns you use. She doesn't mind if you go like back and forth or one of them. So, use one of those when referring to them. She is even a wonderful artist on Twitter. Let's hear more from her.
Hi, I'm Mercedes, known as Ladybug on Twitter. I'll probably have Soda drop my Twitter. I've taken a step back from art for a year, mostly because I'm in an abusive situation at home. But also because of the tornado, I'm coming back into the swing of things with art, but hey, I may even do commissions.
At the time this video is being made, she's 18 years old, so they were born in 2006. Keep in mind that Bailey's 28th birthday was on June 10th of this year of 2024, meaning she was born in 1996, which makes her 10 years older than her victim, which is of course unsurprising since Bailey always likes to go after minors, especially those a decade or more younger than her. And when Bailey was harassing her, they were around like 15 or 16, so they were a minor at the time the two met. So, all the events will be explained in chronological order, from her first interaction to the most recent one. In order to know their history, we have to go back to the beginning, which is where it all started, on TikTok. Yep, Mercedes first ran into Bailey on TikTok when they were around 15 or 16, so this was in around like 2022. Bailey used to be on TikTok where she, of course, caused drama. She mainly got into arguments with Minecraft Story Mode fans because she hated LGBT ships and preferred straight ships, and would attack anyone who did not agree with her. At that point, most Story Mode fans didn't really know about her previous harassment of minors or the art stealing, as she had just appeared on the radar at the time. But eventually, they went down the rabbit hole and found out more about her past. There's a little overview about her, but she eventually left TikTok because apparently in her mind, she thinks that the minors were the ones causing trouble when it was obviously her fault. Now, it's Mercedes' turn to speak.
I'll go ahead and give a rundown on how I met her. So, for clarification, I'm autistic. I don't remember what exactly happened, but this was around the time where Bailey was bleeding into the Minecraft Story Mode community on TikTok. But I remember she went after one of my friends over something. It was over an edit Bailey had made, and I think a friend of mine was calling her out, and Bailey ended up purposely misgendering my friend. I don't remember the details since this was when I was 15, 16-ish. But I talked to her about it and she tried using the autism card. I told her to not do that, because, as someone who is autistic, it wasn't okay. She had a meltdown and sent me a video crying and blocked me and skedaddled back to hell where she came from. I'll go fetch the screenies, but that's all I remember.
So, even though there are no screenshots of Bailey misgendering the friend, that definitely sounds like something she would do. She would always say he or she when referring to someone when she doesn't know the gender. So to her, Z's aren't a thing apparently. She still does that, even when the person has pronouns in the bio. I mean, she is a bigot after all. I mean, being homophobic and calling Native Americans cows? That is incredibly offensive. She really is a privileged cishet white woman. So, when she got called out on her bullshit, she received some backlash with comments and made some videos replying to comments calling her out.
Want the best and honest truth? I was really confused, okay. There I said it. Not repeating myself again. I have a super rough difficulty of trying to understand gender logic. My poor brain needs some thinking, that's for sure. Also, how's this for a voice instead of my actual raspy voice? Sure, I knew it was on purpose, which is why I needed a moment to process and think stuff without being overwhelmed with stress.
Man, doesn't that sound so familiar? She definitely did not change. How unsurprising. As you can tell, she was basically trying to come up with excuses to justify her shitty behavior. Look, I get the feeling of being under stress, and as someone who has possible undiagnosed autism, but autism is not an excuse to disrespect someone's gender identity or be an ass. From here on out, you'll notice that she will pull the autism card to play the victim. And keep in mind that Mercedes, Purple Spy, and Blindly Biotech also have autism. But do you see them throwing a fit? No! So eventually, MCSM confronted Bailey in DMs about the situation. I'll have bots reading off it again, like Purple Spy does, so you can read the messages. I might jump in when needed.
Keep in mind that I am the person you blocked when Saul asked why you followed them. You questioned why, and I told you that you know why, and then you blocked me.
I got upset, okay?
No excuse.
Nuh-uh. I'm being sincere about this. Honest. It's not like I'm playing a joke or anything.
Still, like I said, you kept dismissing the fact someone told you their pronouns, and you purposely misgendered them and kept making their gender all about the situation.
I was upset, okay?
Not a excuse.
Too many people overwhelm me.
Not an excuse to disrespect somebody like that.
Honest.
When you're upset, you get off the internet. Not disrespect someone, and involve their gender and disrespect it and their wishes. Again, you kept dismissing it.
BayNightWolf added her friend to the group. BayNightWolf changed the channel name, the chat group.
Oh wow, look at her. She's too much of a pussy to defend herself. So she drags her friend into this mess? I don't know about you, but this feels like using people for your own benefit, if you know what I mean. It's like she got followers to use as puppets in her fight to make herself look better. How pathetic.
How about you continue it here, please, so my friend can see this too?
Pause. Why are you getting your friend involved?
Because it helps me understand things better if my friend sees what's going on.
Did they ask to be a part of this drama, this situation? Because I don't like it when people drag their friends and use it as a trophy just to prove something. That just makes it worse. It doesn't matter about the fact that you're upset. You don't disrespect someone like that.
You won't know till what someone says before you jump to conclusions of claiming everything. Frowny face.
Bae, I've seen you. I've seen the shit you have pulled.
Yes, I saw it too, but I regretted that crap. Facepalm.
Your friend has nothing to do with this. It's the fact you disrespected someone's gender and pronouns on purpose. Answer my question. Did they ask to be a part of this? Yes or no?
I'm gonna if you quit typing and let me pull a straight answer.
Go on. I'm waiting.
Before I start explaining, can I tell you something different first?
Yes.
Okay, so you know certain people who are on a mental disability, right?
Yes.
I'm one of those people, except my disability is slightly different. I have a mental disability or disorder, meaning of very high emotional functioning and speech language processing disorder. So like people like you or others target me with screenshots of my crazy BS actions. But when you and other people go ballistically crazy on and on and on, share this, share that, point this, point that, everywhere, when people like you do those things, I can't literally process enough of trying to keep every one of what they're doing is affecting me. And I can't honestly function straight without knowing things left and right. As for this picture here, one of those things in this picture that I have a massive difficulty of getting to know people and struggling to knowing my actions of what Elle really did. Insert picture of the autism iceberg. Maybe I shouldn't have shown you the autism iceberg picture in the first place, because now I realized when you saw it just made me think and be like, well, that didn't help.
Now that you've read all of that, it's so wild seeing her lose her fucking temper because this child was so much smarter than she was, is, and will ever be. I already explained the autism card thing, so I won't say it again. I think it speaks for itself how she's trying to dodge the very simple question and paints herself as the victim. Like I said earlier, autism is absolutely no excuse to be a bigot. Also, it's so funny how she whines and complains about how everything is affecting her negatively when she's the one making children feel unsafe on the internet. So, you won't believe this, but this feud ends in the most hilarious way imaginable. So, next, she posts a video where she cries fake-ass alligator tears about how this affected her. Just watch and listen.
Everything you're saying about me is really making me hurt my feelings. I'm very high emotional function right now. If you excuse me, I'm gonna take a break for the night.
Oh my goodness. What the fuck did I just watch? That was honestly the worst fake crying I have ever heard. I even labeled it as a fake crying video in my script. Listen, Bailey, it's really not that hard to admit you're wrong. Even Elijah admitted he was wrong. Is he perfect? Definitely not. Do some people still trust him? Not sure, but he still owned up to his mistakes. You made such a big deal out of something you could have noticed was wrong and apologize. And no, Bailey, we're not forcing you to apologize, but we don't have to accept your apology. We don't owe you anything. Alright, that's all I need to show you from there. We'll be taking our first break and then come back to the next subject. Now that we've gone over Mercedes' brief history of Bailey on TikTok, I'll tell you now, that experience was just the beginning of their long history with Bailey. It only gets worse, especially with what Mercedes experienced next. So, you all know about the tornado that nearly took Mercedes' life and that Bailey made fun of it? But what actually happened in the tornado? How is the area affected by such a disaster? What are the statistics? We already know that Bailey is stupid enough for joking about such a disaster, but we will get into exactly how severe the tornado was, because it will come to show that it was absolutely no joke. I would, however, like to warn you that the following images and descriptions may be disturbing. Some of these pictures are actual images from the destruction itself. Your discretion is advised. So, what was the tornado itself? I cannot say any details on when, where, and what it was to protect Mercedes' privacy, but I will give you the facts I was given. So, back in early 2023, a very deadly EF4 tornado hit the southern United States. It destroyed almost the entire town. Around 20 people lost their lives, and at least 165 people were injured, with the maximum wind speeds at around 195 miles per hour, which is also 314 kilometers per hour. I believe these haunting images speak for themselves. And remember that on the enhanced Fujita scale, the scale that categorizes the severity of tornadoes, it was categorized as an EF4 tornado, which is the second highest type of deadly tornado in human history. EF4 tornadoes can cause significant damage, including leveling houses. Strong framing houses can be swept away and their foundations leveled. Flying missiles. Automobile-sized missiles can travel through the air at speeds at over 100 meters or 109 yards. Debarked trees. Trees can lose their bark. Scatter debris. EF4 tornadoes scatter debris instead of leaving piles of rubble like EF3 tornadoes. EF4 tornadoes can have winds estimated to be around 166 miles per hour or 267 kilometers per hour and 200 miles per hour or 320 kilometers per hour. For example, on May 21, 2024, an EF4 tornado in Greenfield, Iowa had wind speeds of 263 to 271 miles per hour or 423 to 436 kilometers per hour in a small area of the funnel. This tornado killed at least 4 people and injured 35. See how serious this is? Natural disasters like this can negatively affect people's lives, causing them to lose their food, shelter, clothing, healthcare, and just the basic essentials they need to get through the day. People can even die from it. It's nothing to be taken lightly. These pictures I've probably already shown are what Mercedes took herself. Just take a moment to look at the monstrous size within the eerie night. That's honestly pretty scary. And right here is what was left of Mercedes' home. Specifically right here, what used to be her bedroom. And that's not the worst of it. Next, I'll be showing you some security footage from the same town on that very night. See what I mean? Tornadoes are more than just hot winds rising and spinning in the air on flat lands. Not only do they cause significant damage to towns, but they can create deadly lightning and thunderstorms that will strike. I asked Mercedes about their experience in a tornado, to which they gave a statement. This is the part where you can mute your device, if you're uncomfortable with it. I will give you time to do that, and when it's done, I will give you the cue to unmute it.
This may get a bit more serious and touchy, involving fatalities. If the viewers are uncomfy, feel free to skip. From what I remember, my mother was a bit hectic. We were told we were having bad weather. Normally, I wasn't worried that much, mostly because I knew the drill and I've never had a tornado hit me before. Which is crazy considering I'm from the South. Yeehaw. So me and my siblings got into the hallway. I could hear my mom freaking out, and a while later, she came over and hovered over me and my siblings with a mattress to protect us from debris. I start hearing what sounded like harsh wind, and turned to sounding like so many things being torn apart. Basically sounds like a freight train like in the movies. I was completely oblivious, because I've never imagined something like this happening, and then it happened. I couldn't remember it then, but I remember now that I've recovered. It didn't sound like a freight train whatsoever. Once you were inside, first I heard screams from the gas station across from me, and then glass started breaking, then my eardrums becoming busted. It sounded like a row of jets turning on. And when it was over, I couldn't remember. I was still oblivious because I was in a state of shock. But when it stopped, it was quiet. Dead quiet. My sister got up when it was all over and she screamed. I saw what she was looking at and my wall was gone. I saw the sky. Later we had stood outside in the rain because we didn't know how stable the house was. Luckily my house was old. The wood was petrified. So it didn't cave in. Later people came and got us. We had been in that town for hours because no one could go in or out of the town, due to trees being ripped from the soil and roots and power lines down everywhere. I was there all night before we finally got out and went to my grandparents'. I couldn't look at my house, so I never went back for a hot while.
All of this is what she had to go through. This is what they had to live through. This is where she almost lost her life. This was an event that left them traumatized. And she was only 16 at the time. And if anyone was wondering, Mercedes gave me permission to share the details of her experience, as well as the photos and videos they sent me. Even if it's a touchy subject, we both agreed that it needed to be put out there to see how serious the situation is. Especially towards Bailey and the White Knights, who need a fucking reality check so badly, because this all happened while Mercedes was a child. So we are now past the touchy subject. This is gonna be weird timing for a break, but I want y'all to go relax, sit up, stretch, get some water, whatever. Roll. So with all this going on, Mercedes needed a place to vent for moral support from her online friends. A Minecraft Story Mode Discord server was a pretty good place for that. It was a server run by Ken Tracer, YouTube animator and creator of Minecraft Story Mode World's Edge. However, Bailey was also part of that server too. In this server, Mercedes pretty much told her friends everything about what happened. While she and her friends were in the middle of venting, this is where Bailey jumps in and makes the infamous joke.
Yeah, I feel a lot better now.
That's Mother Nature for you, lol.
Be so fucking for real. Like, are you fucking serious?
Come on. At least I was joking around and stating it in a funny way.
Fucking hell. No.
Discord channel link.
Yeah, Mother Nature hates Mississippi.
Do you think it's the perfect time to joke about something that was traumatic to me? You are 26 acting like that. You are an adult.
Grinning, squinting face emoji.
What is wrong with you? You are genuinely disgusting.
Chill, dingus. Mother Nature gave your town some payback. Blame her for targeting your land.
You think it's funny that a tornado hit someone's house?
20 people almost died. I almost died.
I've lost too many Minecraft Story Mode servers.
Fucking seriously? You're more worried about getting banned from stupid group chats than the actual life of a real human being? Are you really that out of touch with reality? Wow. I mean, I already showed y'all the photos, the gravity of the situation, the statistics. Yet, she's trying to reduce all of that into what she thinks is a small joke. I can see why this was the most well-known incident because it shows how less she cares about others, especially minors, one which she previously had beef with on TikTok. Remember that Mercedes met Bailey in around December 2022, and the tornado struck her town in early 2023. So, I don't know about you, but to me, this was absolutely no coincidence that Bailey just so happened to randomly make fun of her due to her past issues with this specific minor. Dreamer Studios made some community posts talking about the incident, which is where I first got my screenshots from the other video.
Hey guys. Sorry for the absence, life has been hell. But in other news, Bailey thinks hurricane disasters are funny and thinks it's okay to make fun of a child because their home and town got destroyed. For the record, these are in response to pictures of this kid's destroyed house, which we have gotten permission to share, which I will be doing in my next Bailey video. Forgot about this little tidbit. Bailey thinks losing Discord servers is the same as people dying in a hurricane. This just goes to show that Bailey is completely heartless and ignorant, as if we didn't know that already, but still. Absolutely insane.
So, there's a whole war zone with Bailey in the comments, which I won't be going over, as juicy as it is. So, I will move on to what I need to say next. Apparently, Bailey's reason for making the awful joke was that it was out of self-defense? What? Does that make sense to any of y'all? What did she have to defend herself from? Mercedes' mere existence? Holy Jesus, jumping on the breadstick, what kind of logic is that? While there are no screenshots of what happened, after that, Mercedes did get in touch with Ken Tracer, who told them more of what happened as proof.
And she's also saying she made fun of me out of self-defense, and I want to ask, this happened in your server, right? I keep forgetting, LOL.
Yes. All of that happened in my server. Also saying that she made fun of you out of self-defense is the worst thing someone could say.
Yeah. I'll ask that because I want to ask you, how did it start? Remember, but I want to ask you for proof's sake since you're the owner, LOL. If you're comfortable with it. And I was wondering if you had screenshots of how it started. I don't think I have that part.
Well, from what I remember, you were telling us about the tornado situation and she made a joke in the middle of the conversation, and from there it all went downhill. Unfortunately, I do not have screenshots. And also the server was reset some time ago, so all of the messages are gone.
And I wasn't even trying to talk to her when she was trying to talk to me, right?
Yeah. You tried to avoid her, and she still would try to speak to you. You and I gave her a warning about that, but she just didn't care.
Yerp. And I want to ask if you're comfortable with me having this conversation on a YouTube video, where I'm asking you these questions. I'm asking these for some YouTube stuff. I plan on making a video on Bailey Moore because she is still harassing children. She even did it today.
Oh, I don't mind at all. She needs to be removed from the internet. She shouldn't speak or be near anyone under 18. Hell, under 20, if we want to go that far. She defended a 15-year-old child lover who dreamt of bad inappropriate things I cannot say on YouTube. She constantly goes against people who have a different opinion. Before all of the Minecraft stuff, she used to steal art and claim it as hers. She also would constantly be very annoying and not helpful to herself when it comes to learning new things and constantly comment spam on videos asking people to do this and that. But beyond that is just arguing with kids, specifically people under 18, and when she argues with an actual adult she pretty much stops and avoids them like myself.
See what I mean? It was Bailey's fault for the dumbass joke. She hated Mercedes because they were too smart for her when that shit went down on TikTok. So she just randomly decided to mock this specific minor's traumatic experience. So Ken Tracer eventually banned Bailey from their Discord server, and of course, she threw a fucking tantrum over it, like she always does.
Message update. Just got kicked out of Ken Tracer's Discord server. Emotionally angry with him and the members there for him, siding with them without animation help. Am stuck. Also, my feelings and ideas are crushed because of those arrogant people known as MCSM Soup, Thomas, Venus. Those idiots have emotionally made me feel really upset, keeping drama about me, screenshots, call-outs of all kinds. Socialism with minors who were against me sucks. I fucking hate it. Heartbreak, heartbreak, heartbreak. Heartbreak, 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 crying emoji.
Aw, boo-hoo. Cry me a river, bitchly. You should have thought about that earlier, before making fun of someone's traumatic experience. Next, she ends up harassing Ken on their YouTube channel because of how butthurt she was. It even got upset in DMs with him. I shall show you the screenshots. First from YouTube.
You are not about to flood my YouTube with this BS.
Maybe so, maybe not. Shrug. I have a right to be upset, you know. We're human beings, dude. We all get upset sometimes, especially the unhealthy action you did of siding with Thomas, Venus, MCSM Soup. Those idiots shouldn't even be there because I sense that they literally came from another server or TikTok because of what they saw about me. It's also unhealthy that they shouldn't take any screenshots at all. And that just makes it more harder on me to intentionally fight others back without trying to cause an internet war upon others. I do know one important thing you're expecting from me before I can join your server again. Answer is behavior improvement. At least that's something I do know what you're looking for.
Ken's not letting you back in your Discord, you moron. You did what you did, and you never apologized for your actions. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. Now, we're gonna see what Bailey said to Ken in DMs.
It just makes me feel really unhappy that they're there. And it's not fair that they are there. I've basically dealt with too many people who made rants about me, called me out. Everything against me is just fucking toxic. I've had my emotions crushed, imagination soiled, and everything I can think about has just gone to waste. Just feel hopeless because of everything that freaking affected me. Or people cause BS about me, taking screenshots of everything from me, call outs about me on everything. Don't know else to fucking do or think feelings already crushed because of fucking minors who are innocent little morons who can't seem to get their shit BayNightWolf new messages together in a way that I see it. Angry face, heartbreak, 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 crying emoji times 4. And it's not fair that those minors have to literally take everything all at once. They can't even fucking improve their behavior either. And they are basically two arrogant savages who just won't take a simple joke for everything that's literally said. No matter what I say, but since now you banned me, now my feelings are fucking crushed. Angry face, heartbreak, 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 angry face. This goes on temporary block for you. For now, until L can improve, that is last thing to say. I'm not surprised those minors haven't went to Dreamer or UG about me, and also not surprised they haven't showed screenshots to them either. Otherwise, they did. I end up having more and more crushed feelings as my entire life could stand.
I want to cut in to say, I have no idea if the minors involved watched Streamer Studios videos. Maybe they did, maybe they didn't. Either way, it does not matter. With everything you did, you have created a bad reputation for yourself. Your awful actions will get people to talk about you, whether or not they know who Dreamer and Yuji are. Also, if minors are getting harassed, they have a right to defend themselves. Okay, back to screenshots.
Bro, seriously, what the fuck? Why would you listen to those clowns?
Listen. Because they're right and you are wrong.
This is Nightmare Ken.
No. Stop typing and listen.
Me? Wrong?
Because you need a bit of a reality check.
I shouldn't have to take this BS.
Stop typing and listen.
This is just fucking insane.
No. You're insane.
Yeah, you tell him, Ken. You tell him. I mean, hot damn.
And this is what I was afraid of.
You should have shut the hell up.
You let those fuckers in. I wanted to, but I hate people who talk BS about what I did. That's drama fuel right there. Drama freaking fuel.
And you should be the bigger person and ignore IT.
I was gonna, obviously.
No, you wasn't.
Yes, I was.
Why the fuck would you joke about the tornado?
I was only having a small bout of it, okay? I was gonna be done and drop it.
Bailey, we all know what you are capable of. The moment you made that awful joke was when a 16-year-old girl was in little shock for surviving such a traumatic event, and you don't care about others' feeling. You care about yourself. Natural disasters are serious, and it's absolutely nothing to be taken lightly. You did this to yourself. Not me, not Mercedes, not Ken, not even the minors. You. These innocent children were just mind your own business and then just got targeted. Especially Mercedes. Now, what if Mercedes did lose her life? At the young age of 16, she would have, but think about what would have happened if she did die. The outcome would have been so much worse. And I don't want to imagine the horrific damage Bailey would have caused if that happened. Thankfully, the story has a happy ending. I was showing both the comment they made under Jimmy's posts, as well as what she told me. So this is what happened right after Bailey made the insensitive joke.
Heya, it's me, the Venus Dingus person. I want to let you all know that I am okay. This kinda just happened out of nowhere, and I am still rebuilding my comfort zone and everything. I am at a relative's and I have new clothes and stuff, and I have lots of insurance. Soon I will have a new house, and new decorations and knickknacks and rebuild new memories. It was an extremely traumatic event. I was in shock for 2 days and she knew everything. I just can't believe she's 26 acting like this to a 16-year-old. I even said in the chat that if it had hit my other side of the house, I wouldn't be here. We're talking about people dying. My thoughts go out to the people in my town who are struggling the most than I am.
And this is her reflection on the whole situation from recently.
So now that I've recovered, I'm doing better now. I'm still dealing with abusive parents nonetheless, but I'm getting there. While emotionally it had left a mark, I'm glad that I'm out of that town. I was kind of miserable there. Nobody in that town liked me, and it was hard to get along. I got along with some, but to sum it up, the church and school of that town would cherry pick who they would like, and look down at people who they don't see fit. I called them all God's favorites, LOL, and I was isolated in that small town because my mom had isolated me and I basically rotted there. But I see my future shaping up. I'm getting out of my parents' household soon. So I guess there's always a light at the end of the tunnel.
So, Mercedes is beyond lucky that she lived to tell the tale, especially at that age. I am so glad that she managed to pull through, stronger than ever with the power of friendship, awesomeness, and insurance, which, as we all know, is a rarity in America. And as you guess, Bailey does not regret making the joke. In this video, posted around May of 2024, where she responded to Jen Badger, she responded with this.
Go die in a tornado or something like that.
It was just a small joke.
No, it wasn't a joke. You don't joke about that. You don't joke about that, Bailey. You can't joke about that.
It's a small joke.
No. You still can't joke about that. You can't joke about that.
I think it's very clear to all of us that she has not changed. So, after all of that, she met Dreamer and Purple Spy, got more involved with standing up against Bailey, and the rest is history. Now that we've gotten to the end of this section, it's time for yet another break. So remember, take your meds, drink some water, grab a snack, and get some fresh air. We are back, everyone. However, we have more to cover from this, including the upcoming chapter in this sheer awfulness of Bailey. I think those who are familiar with the Bay Knight lore know about her very notorious white knights, especially Brian Oxford, Pirate Fox Hunter, Chickens Robinson, and Franklin. They always type the exact same. They're very awful writing, and I cannot understand what they're saying half the time. And they believe they live in some sort of fantasy world where they see themselves as the Messiah or some shit. So their claim is that they're not Bailey defenders, and they're trying to keep it from getting out of hand by saying that people should stay out of it and do nothing, or else they'll be declaring World War III for some reason, or something like that. I don't know. But what they do, they try and silence victims. They attack anyone who speaks out against her, with me being one of them. They think that us, whistleblowers, are the ones causing the trouble, apparently? What? How is that taking it too far? Yet, they have done literally nothing to stop Bailey. There's no proof or anything that they ever told her to stop. They said they talked to her, but nothing has happened. I mean, we have seen them go after us more than Bailey. I mean, if y'all think our antics are taken too far, then what do you call what Bailey is doing? Trying to get a minor's address? She should be the one under investigation here. Anyway, enough rambling. We all know that even if you're a victim of Bailey's harassment, the White Knights will still go after you regardless. So it's no surprise that Mercedes was also targeted by the White Knights. It wasn't just me, Dreamer, and Purple Spy. We all know that Mercedes is bold and does not back down from fights. She first came across them when Hunter O'Brien commented on one of Purple Spy's posts. So, Mercedes replied, fighting back. The one big thing I like to mention is the debate between Mercedes and Brian. Some of you might have heard of it, while others probably haven't. But I think it's a good way of revealing not only what they went through, but what the White Knights are really capable of. So basically, what happened was, Brian basically asked Mercedes to a debate in Discord DMs, to which Mercedes agreed. But don't worry, they weren't alone. Purple Spy was there for moral support, while UG, as well as another one of Mercedes' friends, joined as well. I will be showing the screenshots of the entire debate which Mercedes sent to me. And before we get into this, keep in mind that at the time this debate was happening, Mercedes was 17, so she was a minor, while Brian was 30 years old. Yes, an adult trying to debate with a minor. Since Brian's messages are very unreadable, I'll try and correct it to proper English with the best of my ability in text-to-speech. But let's get into it. I won't be interrupting anything since it's very, very long. So sit back and enjoy the shit show.
Also, here's this.
At Weird Cat. How about you shut the fuck up before I knock your freaking autistic teeth and brains in? Angry face, angry face, angry face, angry face, gun pointing image.
Anything else we need to add?
She was just desperate for attention. Here's the thing, if this child was attacked, then she has to change her Discord name. There's still a chance to avoid Bailey's drama. And speaking of doxing, you will have to send me to that person's account so I could speak with this guy that is somehow siding with Bailey. Despite the fact that if he really is a hacker or something, this should have been prevented from happening in the first place.
Bailey would still have that child's Discord, even if she changed it, because she still has the DMs. And you think attacking a kid and sending people after them for attention was okay? Also, no one said he was a hacker. He could grab her Discord and have people spam requesting the child.
Of course, that could have a problem. Chris should have to back up her friend list or her server that she owns and move to a new account to avoid harassment.
The child shouldn't have to move. The adult or troll shouldn't have gone after the child in the first place. That is not okay.
But she shouldn't have to is the thing. Candy is a child. Bailey is the adult in this situation. She should know better than to be sending others to harass someone because they blocked her.
And at the time, the child couldn't make a new one. They finally managed to do so after they got hacked. I'm also friends with that child.
Adults trolling children is still frowned upon and not welcomed.
And Candy couldn't sleep because of Bailey. She was going through a ton of stress and was trying to figure out how to make a new account. The main reason why we make these videos is to warn people and mainly kids to stay away from this troll so it wouldn't happen again. And so people can ignore Bailey like you have been wanting us to do. And what we have been wanting to do That's the thing. It's also hard to ignore her when she pulls shit up like this.
Sure, leaking an address by accident was a slip. Well, when you say it like that, you shouldn't sound threatening if you ain't gonna perform the action for reals.
Good for you. I will find out who is trying to dox the information of Christ, or even that was from the past. It's risky if I go out there and meet those types of people that is using a Python software and shit. That includes those cartoon police groups out there. And I am gonna see who owns these UTT channels, but there are more of them. But if you want to do another way, then I can help if you want me to give her a website that is used for temporary email until she should have put a number or different email so she doesn't lose her account the second time.
Who's Chris?
Christ.
Christ. My bad. Laughing my ass off.
That person you were talking about who is underage.
Their name is Candy.
I know, but that doesn't change the fact that she knows how to dox. It should be more than that. This should reduce her threats until one of those people should get definitely exposed. I'd say that if this person was really doxing different information, then we all should be aware of them. Insert link of UTTP's channel.
Okay, so you do acknowledge that Bailey is a danger to kids and others, right?
It's pretty much more than that, which included one of her friends that are loyal to her.
Lots will read it in my latest video about Bailey.
But do you think that this is the kind of person who needs to be around children for trolling? I don't get why you get so mad that we try to steer kids away from a troll who is an actual harm to kids.
I've been mad ever since the drama was brought up after a year. I've been dragged into it. Also, I'm definitely sure that Bailey is a troll trying to pick up a fight with people and making offensive memes out of them. I'm sure Pirate Fox Hunter wants us to keep some other people that we don't know as anonymous after taking screenshots of Bailey's other account.
Cutting in to say, what kind of screenshots are those? I'm sorry. I just couldn't resist laughing at how unbelievably bad and fake they were. This looks like it's from like the 2000s era of the internet, not something legit from the top quality modern day. Speaking as someone who was living on this earth when the Twin Towers fell.
You're mad it was brought up again, but then you know why we do it.
Yep, until you guys showed me that there was someone working with Bailey.
We brought it up again because Bailey is still attacking kids. We wouldn't have to bring it up if she didn't bring kids into it, or people in general.
Not to mention, I only found out about her due to the fact that she interacted first.
Okay, do you have proof on what that's all about?
She's also tried coming after me, and told me Elle deserved almost dying when I almost died in a EF4 Tornado. When I was in it, Elle don't know how I survived. When I was 16, we showed you?
This is new drama, if anything, but yes, it was brought back up because she is attacking minors and the kids need to know to block her before she even tries to interact with them.
Are you kidding me?
Alright then, I'll go take a rest. Good night.
After that,
At Mercedes Purple Spy UG Honey Buns, you all got anything else today?
I'm here for the support of someone else. If they don't, then I'm not going to say something.
Shh. Sorry I was asleep. I don't know if anyone else is awake. I do still have some questions. Just a few, not a lot. And we're going to still keep the conversation civil.
Civility is likely for the best.
Because we aren't animals, LOL. I'll go ahead and ask questions, since Brian has a different time zone and we're all busy, including me. But I'm going to try to be civil as I possibly can. 1. Brian, why are you going on YouTube saying that we're harassing people? We're not. Or I'm not sure if you considered this conversation harassing. You were the one who wanted to come on Discord for a civil conversation and show you the proof that you wanted to see. 2. Why are you still dead set on our proof being fake? Do you have proof of that? 3. Why do you think it's okay for Bailey to harass people, threaten to bust an autistic person's teeth in, and telling people to off themselves? All the while you're on YouTube calling purple spies drawing a threat, when there was no threat, it was a drawing. Please elaborate. 4. And why are you trying to say you forced you and Hunter into this? You both chimed in and started victim blaming. And Brian, I know this is going to sound mean, but you have brought people in and went after people who didn't agree with you. And don't expect to get in a fight, and not expect to get punched. I took punches when I got into this, and I didn't cry about it. I gladly took the punch. You and Hunter can do the same, and finish what you've started. Also, Brian, no, there wasn't a death threat in Purple's post. If you think that, then please, point at it for us.
Okay, I'm officially back now, though given the time for Brian, he's likely gone.
Most likely.
Shame he didn't answer when he asked if we had any questions.
Because, you have never said any death threats?
Right? How's a rough sketch of lines and circles a death threat? Was it something I said in the post?
Like I'm so confused, and he tried saying that we dragged him and Hunter in when they came in and victim blamed me and others, and that we harassed on Discord when Brian wanted proof and we gave it to him and even made the conversation civil, except the part where someone in here called him a moron, I think, like he asked. When I said if he wanted proof, we give it to him, but that's not enough.
Yes, well, that seems to be the pattern here. We can't do anything, right? According to Brian, it seems, and changing is not currently an option given the screenshots sent.
Brian, why are you running around on YouTube spitting out lies instead of answering questions?
I will quickly cut in to say that I'll be covering Brian's lies later in these screenshots. Right now, we just need to get this shit show done over with.
For some reason, I doubt you'll get an answer to that.
Here are your answers. 1. Because you guys were harassing us. Look, I never wanted this to happen. All I wanted was to help others from being harassed by Bailey's friends after getting tricked or betrayed. 2. I never thought that the proof was real, but I didn't have any proof to back it up. And it didn't help that you guys were acting arrogant about it and getting so mad at me that you want to get me banned from YouTube while I'm streaming. 3. I didn't see what Bailey did, but I don't want to make such a big problem out of it. I have no idea what you kept claiming all about. I never expected the fights to begin. It was a surprise that me and Hunter were both going into with you guys in the first place. And also, how the hell were we victim blaming? We are trying to figure this out. 6. The reason I didn't agree to your point of view is because, what do you expect? I was never going to be happy about your side, and this is the part where I should just give you a chance. I know El's been dealing with this kind of things before. Please go ahead and read about the rules on YouTube, because it will give you the guidelines, and sometimes the comment sections are really fucked up by the auto system. And I did reply to them, but I can't send a link because of YouTube. But I was thinking about adding some screenshots out there to point out where the problem was all about until the stream is published. Don't be so impatient about that. I am still in the middle of the stream. By the way, Purple Spy, one of my guests from the stream just wanted to ask you some questions. I don't think they will believe it because I showed them some screenshots of what you do, but you don't seem to understand our differences. Remember, the stream might get longer. I might give you another chance if you actually respond to these questions from audio clips of the stream that I recorded, ever since they were sick and tired of you and other people who were with you. If you got any complaints, just ignore the debate. I'll just have to call you out, alongside Mercedes, Bailey, and anyone else who's involved in this conversation. If you think that I'm siding with anyone, then obviously not. Just be careful of what you were saying.
1. No one harassed Bailey's friends. Do you have proof of that? You came in by your own choice and victim blamed victims. Don't expect to get punched back when you're in a fight. Now, I did get onto someone's case who was Bailey's friend. They were around my age at the time, I believe. It was because one of them was fantasizing about non-consensual things. 2. You wanted the proof, we gave you that, but apparently that's not enough. And again, I cannot understand you, and yes, you are siding. You don't have to be on good terms with the person in question to side with them. You have constantly victim blamed, and you just completely forgot that Bailey has actually gone out of her way to hurt people. Again, I need to stress, don't expect not to get punched when you chime into a fight and cry, I didn't want to fight. That's not how this works.
The only problem with Mercedes, which your friend is trying to be impatient and waste my time. She is going part of definition of fucking slander. Whether she kept going around and accuses anyone that she sees. At Purple Spy. Listen, bitch, if you were trying to fuck with me, you will be getting called out for slander. Don't put your mental heath out of control and calm the fuck down. Control your anger and get some help.
Brian, no one has been wasting our time but you. You were on YouTube spitting out lies about us, acting like we can't just screenshot this entire conversation, instead of not just answering any questions. Granted, I don't think English is your first language. That isn't an insult, mind you. But I am trying my hardest to understand you. Excuse me? How old are you again? Oh, fuck no.
You say this as you snap at them? Very ironic. Super hypocritical.
Brian, that is not appropriate.
Aren't you fucking 30 saying that shit to a 17-year-old? Calling her a bitch? And you're fucking victim blaming too.
That is not an adult. You're talking to a child.
I'm asking if he's 30.
Purple Spy, can we talk in private? We have something to discuss about.
And I'm not leaving the subject until he answers how old he is. Sure, but don't fucking call me a bitch. I tried having a civil discussion with you, but you have done nothing but lie and victim blame.
I said I am 30. Don't throw your anger towards me, or this conversation with you invited me in will be over. And dude, you never trying to be civil or patient. All you've done throwing your ass anger towards me ever since I tried to be civil with you, and you admit that you keep accusing me and Pirate Fox Hunter. He got you blocked because he was sick and tired of your behavior. Actually, the insult that you don't like to hear is that you don't seem to understand our differences. Most of the people who tried to start shit with us and push us too hard, they already have faced some consequences. Until they were been learned their lesson not to fuck with us afterwards.
Oh, expect me to be pissed at you after you're 30 fucking years old calling a 17-year-old a bitch after I tried having a civil conversation with you, especially when you tried lying about me and my friends. I didn't insult you at first, I was stern and honest, but never harassed or insulted. The fuck is wrong with you?
You have not been civil at all.
You haven't been defending yourself either. You haven't proved we can't trust you or take your word. All you have done is victim blamed and called a child a bitch. Fuck you. I hope you know this shit is going on YouTube.
But you know, there are some people in my stream who are underage. Like if he is being harassed or being pushed around because of those toxic people, then he will act to try being serious and trying to stand up. Let's just get into a debate and get on with it.
It doesn't fucking matter. You're the adult. Act like it.
I did defended myself, asshole. You could try to accept to be in debate or you will just have to face the consequences. That's thing, we do ask people for that. If you want me to be civil, then you should. Don't have the rest of the screenshot. But it speaks for itself.
You threw a fit by calling a child a bitch because I was defending myself, but expect me to not get angry after I have been civil? Are you serious?
You act like you don't care about children either.
Yep, don't be overprotecting. I'm not gonna do any shit to her.
So you don't want to protect them, you just want to attack others.
Brian.
Look, are you ready for me sending you some audio clips from my stream or not? Look, do you expect me to owe you an apology?
I think this conversation is over because me and others are pissed. You've proven we can't trust you, and in response to me defending myself, as how a debate works, you call a child a bitch. You're most likely going to be in a video. And you have also victim-blamed victims, as I've been a victim of grooming myself. And you want to call me a bitch? I don't care if it's heartless for what I'm about to say, but you're one of the reasons why kids get hurt. One of them. And I'm not sorry, and no, I don't expect an apology. You can if you want, but I'm pissed. I'm done. Mercedes removed Brian from the group.
Okay, now that we have reached the end of this wild debate, that's honestly a lot to take in, but I think we can all agree that this further proves our point about these Bailey defenders. They're not here to protect minors from Bailey, they're here to attack her victims, and they randomly decide to butt in one day like it was their business and make the situation much worse and stressful for the innocent party involved. I'm tired of hearing the same nonsense about protecting freedom of speech purpose by not taking criticisms. You don't seem to understand our differences, as well as the god-awful victim blaming. We don't owe you a damn thing, and it's our freedom of speech to talk about her. So stop telling us what to do. And you're 30. Get a goddamn life instead of attacking children. You never listened to our proof about Bailey's harassment and act like it's the minor's fault for being attacked and not Bailey's fault for endangering them in the first place. Also, calling a 17-year-old a bitch, you really got pissy there, did ya? Yet you claimed to save us from Bailey? Man, how rough. So the other thing I wanted to add, I do know that back in May, they also wanted to debate Purple Spy as well. And they added a list of specific requirements which weren't met. And they were upset about it for some odd reason. But hey, I missed the part where that's my problem. Since the debate was very long, we're gonna have another break and then get back. I know there's a lot of breaks, but trust me, it's for your own sanity. Alright, we are back. We will still be going over the sheer awfulness of the White Knights. I also want to point out that Brian went on his community posts and made several posts of screenshots from the debate, which was him whining like the bitch he is. He even made this long ass community post right here accusing Mercedes of harassing and attacking him during the debate, which, as you all could see, was clearly not the case. He was the one who snapped because he could handle a child being smarter than him. I will not be getting about to read it, as it is very long and probably has a whole bunch of nothingness. I already sat you all through the debate, so I'd rather not have you suffer from Brian's awfulness. But after the premiere is over, you can pause and screenshot it. Another thing I want to point out is that Purple Spy made this very, very innocent post about a rough sketch they were doing, which, by the way, as you can tell, had zero threats whatsoever. It was just an instant drawing. But Brian was somehow so fucking stupid that he mistaked it as a death threat. What? Does this look like a death threat to y'all? I didn't think so. So, I even talked to Purple Spy about their side of the story, which is very long, but brings some good points, which were not in the screenshots. So, take it away.
At first, I tried to remain a neutral party with mostly neutral emotions, though I will admit I got a little impatient before he showed up. As stated in the conversation, I was there for emotional and moral support, as it wasn't strictly my idea. I was more an adult moderator to make sure at the time, minor was comfortable as possible and hopefully clear up any miscommunications if possible. I wasn't there to debate him myself. At first I was calm, though when he said that he was recording and streaming, I was a bit uncomfortable. If he was streaming the chat, I had not consented to that. If he wasn't, then that means he was distracted with something else and can't communicate properly. There was almost immediately a communication error as seen in the screenshots, and he was very hung up on the doxing point. Also, his victim blaming was not something I was a fan of, and I was starting to get annoyed, but I just waited. He doesn't seem to be the best at communication, so I wanted to try and give him the benefit of a doubt. I don't know why he brought up the UTTP, but do try and stay away from them. They have not a good history. If you do get into trouble with them, go to the AUTTP. They should help. Also, his confusion with the name. I don't think he actually meant Candy. I think he was talking about someone else and we didn't realize it at the time. I think he was trying to look for a confession or something, though at the time I shrugged it off. Another thing I disliked was him taking so long to reply. If you wanted to call or something like this, debate, proof sharing, general important conversation, he can't take so long to reply. He needs to be there and ready to talk or say, "I'll be right back," so that we know to wait for him. You can't just disappear on something like this. Us bringing up his grammar issues is something that certainly needs to be talked about. You should word yourself clearly as possible when going into a conversation like these, so everyone knows what you're saying. If there's a communication issue, you need to be able to clear it up, otherwise you're not going to get anywhere except for going in circles. And when he avoided us trying to get clarification, it just rubbed me the wrong way. He should know how to communicate if he wants a debate. Next are his screenshots he sent. Those are the fakest looking screenshots I have ever seen in my life. And keep in mind, I grew up in the 2000s, was born in 97, when the internet was the wild, wild west. I have seen fake screenshots. But that? Those screenshots were so fake, I should have sent them a Smithmas list. They were so fake, I should have hid my true name from them. They were so fake, I should have mounted them on the wall next to my unicorn. There's no names proving who's who, no images to prove that they are actual people involved. The text isn't correct with YouTube text. Along with that, Bailey isn't a troll. Given what she's done, she's a criminal. Then there's where he became mad, because we brought the drama, up again. This is new. Drama. Not old, thus it wouldn't be brought up again, but okay. When we only brought it up because Bailey was getting worse. I don't think there was someone working with Bailey. If there was, they were not a professional and they were making the situation worse, not better. She needs to be helped by professionals, not people on the internet who think they're heroes. When we provide proof, he ignores it, but when he provides proof, we're supposed to believe it at face value, after he continuously gives us reasons not to trust or believe him? Also, if you're going to fall asleep during one of these kinds of things, maybe you shouldn't ask for it so late. Maybe you should request it tomorrow, when you have more time, instead of in the middle of a conversation saying, "Good night." During the time I had to leave, I really didn't want to, but duty's call. In my mind, I was honestly very worried. As far as I could see, no one else was online to support the, at the time, minor, and she needs that support. Arriving back at the base, it was late for Brian, according to the good night yesterday, considering it was 3 when he said that the other day, and when I got back to the base, it was almost 5. So he skipped a day of talking in the Discord, but on YouTube? Oh no, he's gotta play the victim. Poor little Brian. He's getting harassed and can't take care of himself because a 17-year-old is attacking him. He's a man in his 30s. He needs to stop acting like a baby and man up. This was not my mindset at the time. It was a bit spiteful. Yes, but not this spiteful. Thinking about it though, with everything he said, I don't think he was there to get evidence and see how bad Bailey is. I think he just wanted to talk to me. He only spoke while I was there and tried to speak to me directly, and when I was gone, he didn't show up either. While I'm not a fan of being called arrogant, I can take it. I'm an adult. However, calling the victims of Bailey arrogant? The man has a pea for a brain and a black hole void for a heart. He does not care about the victims, and it showed through the entire conversation. He wanted it to go his way, and he could not accept how it was. I didn't, and still don't, like how he was addressing me and ignoring her. I stated it clearly that I was there for moral and emotional support. She was the one he was supposed to be talking to, and he should have addressed her as they were having a conversation. He's extremely rude and, dare I say, a little misogynistic. Though that's my feelings that have not changed. Calling a girl who is probably less than half your age a bitch? I have no respect for that. I understand how some people can say it in a friendly way, but he wasn't her friend. He doesn't know her that way. He should have shown her respect. If he can't respect her, I shouldn't respect him. Throughout this, I was trying to be calm, collected, and a neutral party. When he called her that, however, no. He is not allowed to speak to her. If he wants to speak to her, he'll have to go through me, and I will not be talking to him on his terms. They will be on mine if he wants to speak to me again. It will either be because he wants to speak to her, and she allows it, or he's paying me to. He's the one that made it uncivil. And he has the audacity, the gall, to want to talk to me in private after that? If he was part of the Team Fortress fights, I would have focused on him next time. However, he is not, thus I can only do so much. That so much is cutting him off and making sure the others feel safe from him as well. He may not be as bad as Bailey, but he sure is heading down that path. She deserved to snap at him. As she did, I applauded her honestly. It was very cathartic. She, of course, wanted to ban him from the chat, and she deserved to. After all, she was the one that he decided to call names for no reason. You can tell I kind of lost it after he said don't throw a fit while I was protecting a child as I usually do. At this point, it was no longer a debate. He made it into something else, then doesn't want to take the consequences for his actions. She sends her final message, she then kicks him. Afterwards, we had a moment of cooling down and just talking about what happened. Last, he shared a screenshot to YouTube as if that proved we were in the wrong. For me, all it did was solidify that he was not a good person, and he should be called out as well. He may not be on the same level as Bailey, but she's not good either. At least Elijah had the decency to realize that the error of his ways, and I hope he's doing better for it. I don't think Elijah's a great person, but he's getting better and at least trying. Ryan, though? No, we've showed him the proof, and he didn't look at it. he decided not to read it. He's the one in the wrong there.
Now that you read all that, I think it sums it up well. I know Purple Spy's a humble dude, but their actions in helping children help out in more ways than we realize. They know the gravity of the situation, and is willing to defend the young ones. I personally think that, in Brian's mind, he thinks a debate is the same as an argument. I first heard about the debate through this community post, but there were so little screenshots publicly available, so I didn't have much to go off of. But Mercedes was kind enough to offer me all of this evidence because it really helps show everyone what kind of a person Brian really is. I mean, obviously, it was already obvious that he was a shithead, but I like to add on to the evidence. Me and Mercedes also agreed that we would want to debate them again, especially Hunter, based on what we will briefly cover in the next section. So Brian and Hunter, we have some of our own requirements. If you want to debate so badly, we came up with a list of requirements that we agreed on. Some of mine are the same as theirs, so the list is combined together. So if any of you White Knights are watching this, here are our requirements. First and foremost, it must be on voice chat. Voice changes are fine, just make sure your voice is audible. No interrupting. Wait until one's finished talking and say your piece when finished. It cannot be in a public server owned by either of the White Knights. We must have other friends of us, however only those who are comfortable with it, to join for moral and emotional support. Neither one of us cannot be alone in the voice chat of the White Knights. The calls will be recorded. This is so it'll be less uncomfortable for each party's trust, and this is a public settlement. Also, it cannot be live streamed while the debate is happening, especially without our consent. The chat must be monitored by a moderator. You must agree to a time you want, that way you don't leave in the middle of it. And do not leave in the middle of it randomly. Questions from both sides must be answered to full extent, as well as counterclaims to a claim from the other side. Also, don't DM parties randomly. Ask to DM first, and if the person says no, then that's the end of it. Don't make people uncomfortable, definitely. No arguing, no talking over each other, no name calling, no insulting, and definitely no derogatory terms or phrases. And last but not least, no insulting each other or calling anyone names until everyone agrees to do so, after we have questions out the way. Otherwise, you'll be kicked or muted from the call/group. Obviously, it doesn't have to be 100% professional, but you White Knights are adults and you are absolutely expected to act like it. And if you try and throw insults at us, then we have a right to defend ourselves. That's the end of it. You are not going to make people uncomfortable given how you are, and you will comply with us. We do not have to comply with any of your so-called rules. There you go. If you don't agree to these terms, then I'm sorry, but you'll not get the debate you desperately want. So, get in line and deal with it. We're not playing around no more. We're almost at the end. Do not worry. We just have one more section to go through. But I will give you one final break before we end the premiere. Okay, so, remember my second video, how there was another person, and then a 14-year-old minor named Fox Mallow, who spoke about their experience with Bailey in the video? Pirate Fox Hunter went after him as well. There have been more comments added since the video was released, when Mercedes joined to tell that sucker off. However, I'll be showing the full conversation because it's fun, and I love exposing the heck out of these retail simpes. I might pop in if I need to say something.
You should try to avoid her at all cost. She caused too many situations between Dreamer Studios, Dramarant, and us as well. But I don't trust these other commentators since that caused multiple confusion between three side against each other due to major shit of this. Drama. Rolls eyes.
What's confusing about it exactly? You attack the commentators and victims that try to speak out against Bailey. Stop acting like you're the hero in this situation. They already said they'd stop talking to her, so leave them alone.
We haven't spoken to Bailey in a long time, but you need to stop targeting Purple Spy, Mafia. She hasn't done anything wrong to you, but all you've been doing is target Purple Spy for a long time, and enough is enough. Leave Purple Spy and the rest of us alone, okay? We have nothing to do with you, but your channel gets banned for a very good reason, so I suggest you stop targeting Purple Spy and the rest of us alone.
Keep accusing me all you want. We never actually attacked any other commentator unless if a person started. I did give a person only a warning and he blew it. Where is a proof? Did I actually expose more than 2 people? Then no, Spy brought this on himself for refusing to take criticism and refusing having a debate with Brian without both sides involved to each other throwing a fight. Listen, there will be reaction or debate to prove that you guys aren't worth it, not unless you guns mind your own mistakes and apologize to Brian and everybody else that you guys accused and trying to get then involved. Without regrets or something. Frowny face.
Okay, hold up. How is this Spy's fault? All they're doing is calling out Bailey and warning minors in their videos. As far as I'm concerned, you and Brian are the ones making this more stressful for everyone.
Purple Spy doesn't have to debate you if they don't want to. Don't act like you literally don't have a community post attacking Can of Soda for making a video about Bailey. You attack anyone that goes after her. Even her victims. All of this drama with you guys started because you started attacking Bailey's victims for speaking out and trying to warn others about her. All we want is for you guys to leave innocent people alone.
Look, we don't know who those people are that you claim we were attacking. If that wasn't for you and you decided to think we're better than anyone, then no, after all. We all making mistakes after Bailey proven that she gets us all involved and get others in this situation like this. What kind of human being are you? Rolls eyes. I wonder if Brian's friend sent an exact callouts DM towards Bailey and proven that she just hate us for real. Every time I re-upload my videos, she just commented, and I've blocked her many times after thinking of us still her friends. No, I don't think so. It's already over and her friendship is ended.
Look, I am sorry, but I have no idea what you're saying. Just don't bring these kids into this. I don't want any more people hurt by Bailey.
Excuse me?
Hunter, I have a question, and this is important. How old are you?
Are you Mercedes?
Sure am.
Well, hi. I'm Fox Mallow. I know you heard about me and that I am the creator of all the stories I made.
I have. And I hope Hunter isn't an adult trying to go after a 14-year-old. You already have enough on your plate. Especially with a woman that's close to her 30s that's already going after you. I'm sorry you had to go through this.
It's fine. I'm doing all right now. By the way, I'm sorry she did the same to you about 2 or 1 year ago. Are you okay now?
Oh yeah, I'm fine now. No need to worry about me. Just hope you're all right. Let us know if there are any more of Bailey's White Knights and Bailey herself coming after you. We'll take care of it. Virtual hugs.
Thank you, Mercedes. You're a good help.
You're welcome, love. Virtual hugs.
I just want to say, I know parts like these aren't generally needed, but I thought it was very wholesome. I also think it's important to share because it shows how much we as a community care about Bailey's victims and that your voice in all this is valid.
I can sense that you and your friends are being distracted by thinking of me as one of the white knights. Of course, I am an adult here. If you want people to leave Spy alone, then he shouldn't be making those videos about Brian or getting his friends backstabs us behind our backs. It would have been clear if we all settled down for once. I'm still waiting for Bailey to make a response video. Rolls eyes.
You did ask miss the part where she made that response video towards me? I know it's taken down, but still. I thought you idiot.
If you aren't one of her white knights, then why are you always going after her victims instead? You and your little group aren't making things better for them.
Like you want her to make a response video. She is a terrible person and you're saying that she isn't a problemic. You're just jealous because she is nothing but a loser.
Remaking this comment because I'm not sure if my other one got approved. I don't care that you are going after Purple Spy. That's his fight, not mine. And Hunter, you are Bailey's white knight. Because you wouldn't be in the comments section of a 14-year-old's video going after them because of their experience with Bailey. And if I catch you going after a child when you are a grown-ass man, me and you will be in a call with me and others and give you the debate you so desperately want. And I'll be ripping you a new one. Do I make myself clear?
Well, damn, you get on Princess Diana. She ain't no pussy. She knows what she's talking about. It's been damn time that these white knights get what they deserve for all the irreversible damage both they and Bailey have caused.
Also, no one here said anything about Purple Spy. He can take care of himself, and if he was worried about you they would have said so. The only thing I asked you was to leave these kids out of the Bailey drama. That's it.
You certainly are Bailey's white knight. We know you're defending Bailey, but you just don't want to admit it. Plus, you're an adult, and you're going after minors, so I suggest you leave these minors alone or else. Don't say you're not defending Bailey or you're not her white knight, because you are, and quit going after Purple Spy. Purple Spy didn't do anything wrong to you, but you made a horrible threat, and you can't keep your mouth shut. So, do me a favor, and leave these minors alone, and Purple Spy alone too. You caused enough damage, so leave them alone.
Thank you.
No problem. I'll be making a new video soon and I'll be talking about 2 people. I'll mention some victims in my video whenever I get the chance.
Cutting in again to say, I don't think Jen is working on that video anymore, in case anyone may have been curious, though I'm not sure. Jen, if you're watching this, please correct me if I'm wrong.
Alright, can I get a hug before I go?
Sure thing. Hugs you.
When did you ever see me defending Bailey? From 2021, which is when Dreamer Studios uploaded? We already did admit that was a mistake over 4 years, but the thing is that you guys are still white knights to this drama. There is no point of resisting about saying things that are false accusations from today. I don't care if you are a minor or adult or elderly, but that doesn't mean that you will have rights to push someone around and treat them with disrespect. Frowny face. You guys should have had the evidence with following screenshots if you wanted to describe what things that you guys wanted to talk about. Not all of us are kids. It's currently we have our people mostly were adults, and few of them are kids who's currently fighting for Brian. We already admit that Bailey got 3 of us involved and goes to major chaos. Rolls eyes. No one said that I'm jealous. If you currently don't want someone talking to you or believe you, then I would suggest you stop replying so we wouldn't have any kind of those problems anymore. All we do is to stop getting ourselves involved, getting away from those people like Bailey. So we could all of us and who's with you buying you guys sometimes to ignore this situation. Why don't you guys get a job or go back to school or whatever? You are currently wasting your life for people that you guys trust. When I responded on every section, then I bet you guys seemingly notified when one of you either used YT Studio with your channels or linked to someone else's channel. I would say you guys don't want to admit that you are sorry for accusing people of being white knights. It would have been better for you guys owes them an apology, including Brian and people that you guys hurt. And we're not going to stop until Spy admits his own mistakes. Rolls eyes.
Oh my goodness, Hunter. Leave this kid alone. They are a victim of Bailey's harassment. And you're the one who went to the comment section and replied to us. They have every right to defend themselves. Also, stop bringing up Purple Spy. He has nothing to do with Bailey's target harassment against Mallow.
Dreamer Studio had the right to vent about you and Bailey. Dreamer Studio hasn't uploaded any videos in the past 2 years because Dreamer Studio has a life outside of social media and Brian needs to leave Borb alone. So, you're defending Bailey, and you better leave Purple Spy alone. You're defending Bailey and that makes you a white knight. You're bad news and I'm against bullies like you. Just leave all of us alone. Our right to stand up to Bailey and this conversation is over. BTW, none of us are gonna apologize for telling the truth, and I refuse to apologize. So, no, I won't apologize. We were doing fine until you replied to the comments that was 6 days ago, so you should just leave us alone and no one hurt you or Brain. You're hurting us, so you guys should be apologizing to us for hurting us.
I don't think you would understand anything about our differences. Yes, both of them, like you, G and himself, are extremely wanted to try messing around, and we did the same thing after they were the ones started first. You don't have to yell or let your anger out. You are not a Super Saiyan or a superhero who stand up against people. Not even you think of us are bullies. We do have a life. We respect people that we care about. Not only two of us should apologizing, but Jenkins should admit that was his mistake. Yeah, we exactly been trying to get his ex-friend off this drama until he just giving up on Bailey. Not only you think that you were against thing that you were claiming, but a problem is that you and people who's with you trying to pick a side. Right before you broke your own rights against free speech, not all of us should apologize. You need to talk to Jenkins. Brian and I'm owning our business dealing with those things between here and other situations. We were just doing our things. If Spy are still gonna put their differences aside after things he has done or Jenkins' apology, then we all gonna have to leave it for people who don't even know your side and get this drama externally called out. Apologizing doesn't mean we are friends. It's gonna be temporary for putting differences aside until this shit is over. We all gonna have to go in separate ways. But all I know, your side is currently gonna hurt a lot of people that you guys came across. That's why we aren't taking any chances, and that makes you guys looks like SJW. We only listened to Jenkins if he told us to step down, but Brian, on the other hand, is not gonna let Spy slide into disagree of something. All I know, Spy's fate is gonna end it sharing his fate about losing a couple of friends like Timothy, and other who got their reputation ruined for not making things right or have to take another chance. Rolls eyes. After all of those are over, just don't try to follow us around. There is gonna be a big mistake. We are only here to try criticize people and trying to get Brian out of this situation. Or are they gonna just ended up being white knights to this drama? Frowny face.
Does anyone know what the fuck he just said? If you do not, I get it. I tried to decipher it. I do understand if English isn't your first language, and I can kind of see where we're going for if that were the case. But with this, what? I cannot understand shit. Biotech and Jen stopped replying to him due to how god-awful his copy and paste looking ass speech was. There's also another thing I want to point out is where they always try to point out that we don't seem to understand their differences or something like that. Yes, we do. I understand our differences very well. Difference between y'all and us is that we are actually trying to take a stance against Bailey and we're actually trying to stop her. But y'all, you have done nothing but attack us as well as Bailey's victims. So that's our differences. So I understand our differences very well. Thank you very much, bitch. Anyway, that's the end of the conversation right there. I have checked over the past few weeks and nothing else has been added. So I have nothing else to say in this section. So that was all I had to say right now. Just remember that this tornado was what Bailey and her friends made fun of and saw as a joke, when in reality, it is no joke at all. It is incredibly serious. And Brian went after Mercedes, the person who experienced this all firsthand, and called her a bitch? Hell no. I swear, these white knights feel like those white saviors seen in Hollywood, where they see themselves as better, or just want to inflate their massive egos. I do hope this video alone gives Bailey and the white knights a big, fat reality check, because they need to know exactly what Bailey made fun of. Also, since Brian and Hunter so desperately want to debate so badly, and me, Mercedes, and maybe more of us would love to give it to you. So, go ahead, debate me and my friends, you fucking pussy. Do it, I dare you to. The world will then see the amount of amazing help you are doing to protect Bailey. I am not scared of you. So, before we go, I want to let Mercedes speak for themselves.
Brian, Hunter, Bailey, you shouldn't be around kids. As a matter of fact, you three should be hunted for sport. Because what kind of grown-ass adults go after children and blame it on autism? Or excuse it at all? Guess what? I have autism too. You ain't all that special boo-boo. Imagine your child is on the internet and they were being bombarded by 20, 30-year-olds. You all need to grow a pair and leave kids alone. Stop excusing it.
And I agree to the fullest extent. Brian and Hunter, if you're watching this is not your fight. It's not your business either. You decided to butt into something that had nothing to do with you. All we were doing was trying to prevent minors from getting harmed. If you are not a defender, then why have you done nothing to stop it? Leave the internet and get a life. You too, Bailey. Stop attacking kids and playing the victim and all that. And in the meantime, please, I want all of you to go show Mercedes some love and support because she absolutely deserves it with everything that she has gone through, especially with how Bailey attacked her and how Brian called her a horrible word. I will link their Tumblr and Twitter in the description down below so you can go support them. And they said that they may even do commissions. So definitely support them on that as well. And definitely support Bailey's other victim, like Candy and DabliceCZe. So yeah. And to everyone watching, please block BayNightWolf. She is clown. You're welcome, DabliceCZe. Anyway, that's all from today's video. If you enjoyed, don't forget to like the video, comment your thoughts, and subscribe for more exciting content. And I'll do what I can to provide an update if anything happens. So, look forward to that. Have your popcorn ready for the debate of the century. Until next time, I will see you all later. Bye.